Nigerian Governors Forum deliberates on local government autonomy and bill seeking to establish roles of traditional rulers in governance. Wife of Lagos State Governor Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu seeks continuous collaboration to sustain zero-dose vaccination for children. Doctored Kaduna female doctor Ganiat Popola regains freedom after 10 months in the captivity of bandits. On the foreign scene, U.S. envoys push for Israel-Hezbollah ceasefire. Details in a moment. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on the news at 8 on Lagos Television. I am Abimbola Bello. The presidency has commended the Senate leadership for its swift and professional handling of the recent ministerial screening process. In a statement by Special Advisor to the President on Senate matters, Senator Bashir Lado, the presidency also lauded Senate President Godswill Akpabio and his colleagues for their diligence. The Senate's prompt confirmation of the 7 ministerial nominees was seen as a key step towards advancing President Bola Tinubu's goals for the country. The presidency also noted that the efficiency displayed by the Senate in confirming the nominees reflects a commitment to ensuring President Tinubu's vision is realized. The statement adds that the appointment of these ministers demonstrates President Tinubu's responsiveness to the aspirations of Nigerians and his commitment to delivering the dividends of democracy to the citizenry. The National Economic Council has asked that the tax reforms bill be withdrawn from the National Assembly to allow for wider consultations and considerations for the benefit of Nigerians. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde announced this while briefing State House correspondents as part of resolutions reached after the council took presentations from the Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms Committee during their meeting presided over by Vice President Kashim Shettima. Also following the devastating effects of recent flooding in 217 local governments of 34 states across the country, the National Economic Council has, among other resolutions, charged the Federal Ministry of Water Resources to conduct a massive integrity test on the major dams in the country. Governor of Anambra State, Charles Soludo, also hinted that the council has called for more effort and collaborations from the state emergency management agencies towards mitigating devastating effects of flooding. Meanwhile, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, informed that he briefed the council on the progress and steps being taken by the Tinubu administration towards ameliorating the present economic realities faced by the citizens as a result of its far-reaching fiscal policies. He enumerated the ongoing sales of crude oil and refined petroleum products in Naira as a game changer towards increased resources for infrastructural development across the country. Others are the Consumer Credit Scheme, the Compressed Natural Gas Initiative, the Student Loan Scheme, and the short-term program millers in the food security chain. And the Nigeria Governors Forum has met with the National Council of Traditional Rulers in Abuja to ensure a defined constitutional role they play in governance. Addressing State House correspondents at the end of the meeting held at the conference center of the State House, Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun revealed that a committee was set up under the leadership of the Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma to look into the matter. The Ogun State Governor also disclosed how traditional rulers being closest to the people can indeed contribute more meaningfully towards enhancing the security of lives and property, as well as sustain peaceful coexistence.
we realize the fact that there is no clear constitutional role for them. And amongst the roles that we feel that can be offered to them, that they can be engaged in, is that which will assist government in the provision and strengthening of security, since that is the biggest responsibility of any government, provision, of security for its citizens.
On behalf of the National Council of Traditional Rulers, the Etsu of Nupe Yahya Abubakar appreciated the support of the governors and gave an insight into the proposed bill in the National Assembly on the role of traditional rulers.
Served this country 30 years, 40 years before retired, and now retired back to another assignment of leading our people. So I think we're best of our crops that can conveniently lead our people and address the challenging problems we're facing in terms of social, political, social, economic, and security, peace, and what have you in this country. So we are called upon by this forum to be together to become a very, very significant and important stakeholder towards achieving these noble objectives.
This is the first time a meeting of this nature is coming up between the Nigerian governors and traditional rulers across the 36 states of the Federation. It is aimed at creating and presenting a common and robust statement on the roles of traditional institutions to the National Assembly's Committee on the Review of the Nation's Constitution. The House of Representatives has passed for second reading a bill seeking to increase the retirement age of health workers in the country from 60 to 65 and 35 to 40 years in service. Leading a debate on the bill at plenary, its sponsor, Wale Ahmed, APC Lagos, said the law will encourage experienced medical professionals to contribute to the development of the health sector while training the younger ones. According to him, it has the potential to revolutionize the health sector, adding that the Japa syndrome is having adverse effect on the sector as majority of those living the country are always the younger ones. Contributing to the debate, Ahmed Jaha, APC Borno, asked members to give the bill a sense of direction, adding that some states of the Federation have already increased the retirement age of health workers. He disclosed that during recruitment in hospitals, specifications are given, adding that consultants and other health professionals are always in shortfall because of their lack of experience. The Federal Capital Territory Administration has flagged off a 7-day free screening exercise for hypertension and diabetes as part of the project's 10 million initiative of Committee of Health Commissioners supported by the federal government. The exercise targets to screen 250,000 residents, 200 communities and 10 million Nigerians nationwide with a theme, Know Your Numbers, Control Your Numbers. The Permanent Secretary, Health Services and Environment, Babagana Adam, who was represented by the Director General, Hospital Management Board, Health Services and Environment, Olugbenga Bello, urged FCT residents to take advantage of the opportunity provided to screen for their blood sugar level and blood pressure in order to combat non-communicable diseases.
This program presents, you should know your numbers and you should control your numbers. And these numbers we are talking about are your blood pressure and your blood sugar. And it's going to be done free of charge. And then we want to link you up to treatments. And this treatment, at least for the first 1 month, is free of charge.
The Mandate Secretary, Health Services and Environment, Dr. Adedolakbo Fashawe, said the project was launched to reduce the statistics of younger people who have undiagnosed heart diseases and those dying of hypertension and diabetes unknowingly.
Communicable diseases are globally on the increase, not only here in Nigeria. But interestingly, a study shows that North Central Nigeria, where we are, has one of the highest prevalences of hypertension and diabetes in Nigeria. And that is why we must pay special attention to our numbers.
The program is expected to reach over 200 communities across the FCT, particularly the remote communities and internally displaced persons camps, to ensure that vulnerable populations have equitable access to essential care. And back here in Lagos, over 500 civil servants in Lagos Television, Radio Lagos Echo FM and Traffic Radio have benefited from the free blood pressure and sugar level check initiative tagged Know Your Numbers, Control Your Numbers. Our health correspondent Aminat Elegushi tells us more.
Civil servants in Lagos are now participating in the 10 million Know Your Numbers, Control Your Numbers initiative put together by the Government Forum. Here in Lagos, the target is to check the blood pressure and sugar level of 800,000 residents in the state. We are here at the Radio Lagos Echo FM boardroom where staff are being checked.
The two killer diseases, they term them the silent killer diseases, hypertension and diabetes, And I think it's a very, very good initiative, Some people might just be hypertensive and they will not know until probably they do this exercise. And that's why you cannot overemphasize the importance of this. So it's a very laudable initiative, and I'd like to use this opportunity to commend the federal government and the Lagos state government for coming up with this initiative, and more importantly for bringing it to our doorstep here in Radio Lagos Echo FM for all of us in the community here, Oil TV, Radio Lagos, Traffic Radio.
To everyone on the streets who thinks that they live a normal life without having to check about their status, it's an advice for them to take advantage of, not only here, but in the private or public hospital, to have a routine check of their health status.
You do a blood sugar test, find out that you have high blood sugar level. Of course, what do you need to do? You have to, cut down on some of your sugar intake and all of that stuff. So I think it's a positive initiative, geared towards promoting better health in Nigeria.
The initiative, medical experts say, is to encourage people follow up with their health status.
When you know your number, your BP, you'll be able to check it and control it. So that's why it's a nationwide initiative. So the more, I know we've had history of people moving, falling down, dying, and so many things. But everything starts from you knowing your number, know yourself, know your BP, if you're diabetic, you know your blood sugar. So that's why we said, know your number. You can control your number.
Lagos residents are advised to take advantage of the initiative by visiting the nearest health facility to know their numbers. Aminat Elegushi, LTV News.
It pays to know your numbers. Go get yourself checked today. And moving on, residents of Oniro community in Lagos Island have benefited from a free medical health care mission. The outreach was an avenue to provide vital healthcare services to individuals in the community, and it involved general consultations, eye care, dental care, and the dispensing of medication. We have details in this report.
This health mission for Oniro Town and its surrounding communities is to bring medical care closer to indigent residents.
There could not have been a better time than now to do this, because given the level of health concerns, a lot of people are moving about, and for the inability to afford basic health care, we have gone the whole hog.
We want to meet them at the point of their needs. We want to make sure that people around us, they are healthy, they are well fed.
Residents had access to free eye tests and distribution of free eyeglass, high blood pressure and examination of other organ vitals, collection of free drugs and food palliatives.
One of the areas to partner with the government, partner with the communities in raising the hope, renewing the hope of people in the fact that it is not all lost. So there are many who need health care but cannot afford them. We have brought it at no cost to anybody.
It's a very wonderful thing, and we thank God Almighty for making it possible for us to be in a position to help the community. You can, like you mentioned, there are a whole lot of things going on here, not just preaching the word of God to them, taking care of them medically and evangelically.
Beneficiaries across various tribes and religious affiliation, community leaders, including representatives of the Oba of Oniru Kingdom, commended the life-saving mission, saying it is indeed timely.
I am here with my mother and my 3 children, and they are being attended to. So in fact, I really do the 3 major things. I went for eye tests, which they give me glass.
I'm so happy that whereby some of people they come to help, bring with the Christianity. We thank God. God will bless Christianity. We are very grateful that something like this comes to our kingdom, that assisting our people. I pray to them that God will be with them in all endeavors.
There was also a clarion call for further collaborative efforts among key stakeholders, as irrespective of how effective the efforts of the state governments are, they may not be enough to meet the needs of our over 20 million residents.
Moving on now, the Lagos State government will continue to prioritize the welfare of its workforce, even as it continues to look at ways to improve the lot of public servants in the state. Head of Service, Lagos State Bode Agoro made this assertion at this year's Directors of Administration and Human Resources training in Ekpe. Correspondent Olumide Ojo has the details.
Directors from ministries, departments and agencies again gathered at the Jubilee Chalet Ekpe for their annual retreat to take stock of the year ending. Lagos State Head of Service, Mr. Bode Agoro, while declaring the retreat open, thanked Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu for his dedication to the welfare of public servants. He assured public servants that their welfare and well-being remains paramount, even as the state government continues to look for ways at upscaling their welfare further.
We must thank Mr. Governor for the great and wonderful things he's doing in Lagos State. And we also thank him for placing a huge premium on capacity building of the workforce in the public service. The greatest asset of any company, of any government, is the workers. Without you, we're nothing. So it is important that we take care of our people of our own. We have opened discussions with the Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund with a view to keying into the employee compensation scheme. So watch this space. There's a lot of benefits in that Social Insurance Trust Fund that will be of significant use to all public servants. I won't say more than that for now, but watch the space.
In an address to the directors, Permanent Secretary, Public Service Office, Mrs. Sunkanmi Oyegbola, urged them to lead by positive examples always.
Are you that allows your junior ones or your downlines to be innovative, to be creative, to have a say? Are you a listening leader? Are you an empathic leader? Because for us to have talent management, the service can attract talent. How do we manage the talents so that we can retain those talents? Leadership is not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in your charge.
Some of the directors spoke about the retreat and their expectations.
We are the think tank of the service, and we should be able to put in place policy trust in line with Mr. Governor's Teams Plus agenda, so that we can move this resilient mega city to greater heights.
The administrative and human resource cadre is the life support of the public service. We improve on things we need to do, we improve our processes, we tell each other where we're going wrong and what we need to do right. So today what we have started to do is begin to look at implementation of new policies and establishing new ways of doing things, as well as checking back on the ones we're doing.
Facilitators took turns to lecture the directors, even as other activities lined up for the 3-day retreat is geared towards refreshing and optimizing the discharge of the duties of the directors in their various ministries, departments, and agencies. Olumide Ojo, LTV News.
Still ahead. Abducted female doctor freed after 10 months in captivity. That's in a moment. Thank you for staying tuned. If you've just joined in, you're watching the news at 8 on Lagos Television. The United Nations Children Education Fund, UNICEF, has brought together music artists from across Africa to release a song to end zero-dose vaccination for children. Wife of Lagos State Governor Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, who lauded the initiative, calls for continuous collaboration to ensure every child is immunized against polio and other vaccine-preventable diseases. We have details in this report.
The saying, music knows no border and it reaches the heart of millions of people, is what UNICEF is adopting to pass the message of polio and other vaccine-preventable diseases with the drive of bringing 12 renowned artists from Nigeria, Mali, Chad and Cameroon to amplify the need for complete immunization. At this event organized to campaign against No More Zero Dose, consolidate on the need to reach children, those who have not received any vaccination.
We are here because every child deserves a healthy start in life. Every child has the right to life-saving vaccines that can protect them from preventable diseases.
If you look at the numbers that Nigeria and other African countries, are the places where, zero dose is most present. It should bother anyone and make you concerned enough to use your influence, whether as a music producer, as an artist, to create social change and to amplify the message that we should indeed clear out zero dose.
Lagos State Governor, who is here represented by a special advisor on health, Dr. Kemi Oguyemi, and his wife, Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, call for continuous collaboration to sustain the health care of children.
We must ensure that every child, no matter where they live, has access to life-saving vaccines. This is not just a health issue. It is a matter of social justice and equity. Our administration will continue to strengthen our healthcare systems and expand immunization coverage. We will continue to invest in community outreach, health education, and partnerships that ensure no child is left behind.
The history of immunization is filled with triumphs and challenges, and we owe it to our children to continue pressing forward until every child is protected. The Lagos State government remains steadfast in its commitment to improving healthcare access and promoting vaccination. We continue to collaborate with partners like UNICEF to implement outreach programs and awareness campaigns that emphasize the importance of immunization. Today's event is another step forward in these efforts, and I assure you that we will not relent in our mission to make Lagos, and indeed Nigeria, a safe and healthy place for every child.
Paralympic powerlifter and polio survivor Victoria Neji also helped on the need to ensure every child is safe. With the vaccination music, parents and guardians are advised to ensure children are immunized against polio and other vaccine-preventable diseases. Aminat Elegushi, LTV News.
The Oba of Lagos, Obariwa Akiolu, has called on the British government to strengthen its collaborative efforts with Nigeria in her security, economic and transportation sectors for national development. The monarch said these when the captain of the British Royal Navy, Lindsay Wigmore, paid him a courtesy visit at his palace in Lagos Island. Correspondent Omomi Okeowo reports.
This courtesy call by the captain of the British Royal Navy, Lindsay Wigmore, and esteemed to the palace of the Oba of Lagos, Obariwa Akiolu, is to seek further collaboration in ensuring better maritime security along the West African corridor. The monarch uses the opportunity to ask the British government to assist Nigeria in writing off its foreign debt and increase its investments in Nigeria.
In fairness to them, they are very, very good in administration. And they will derive a lot of benefit from us in this country. Let them come and set up here, use our products. The population is there. They can produce things here, bring the machinery, produce, then they carry it out to anywhere to go and sell.
Oba Akiolu also shares the history of Lagos to his guests while asking the state government to intensify its efforts in reducing street trading in the metropolis.
You see, this palace is almost 600 years old. And the British took over the administration of this palace on 1st of August 1861, when King Dosunmu signed the Treaty of Cession.
By us being here, it shows a joint commitment with the Nigerians and the West Coastal nations in the Gulf of Guinea to counter the illegal trafficking and the illegal fishing.
Having just celebrated his 81st birthday on Tuesday, October 29, the Oba of Lagos also received a guest who came to felicitate with him. Omomi Okeowo, LTV News.
The Nigeria Police says it has made significant strides in combating crime, culminating in the arrest of a notorious arms dealer and 1,246 other suspects across various operations. Spokesperson of the police, ACP Olumiwa Dejobi, said these while parading suspects in Abuja. We have details in this report.
Within the month of October, under review, the false image maker who paraded the suspects before newsmen in Abuja also reveals numbers of prohibited firearms and ammunition recovered from the suspects.
Recovery of 210 various firearms, 3,172 ammunition of various calibers also recovered. The police was also able to recover 118 stolen vehicles and rescue 64 victims of kidnapping across the country.
In Abuja, according to the force spokesperson, the police operatives recovered ransom of 5.5 million naira and rescued 3 kidnapped victims.
We are rising up to this challenge of traffic robbery, housebreaking, one chance, and stealing from persons in the Federal Capital Territory. Let me use this opportunity again to inform you that as a follow-up to the case of assault against Honorable Alexandra, the Honorable has been charged to court today. The Nigeria Police Force is committed to upholding the rule of law and making sure we have sanctity and respect for human dignity.
The suspects arrested in Delta, Enugu, Yobe, Katsina, Borno, Niger, Plateau, Kano states are to be arraigned before the courts for prosecution soon.
And now to some piece of cherry news. A female resident medical doctor at the National Eye Center in Kaduna State, Ganiat Bukwola, who was kidnapped by bandits in December 2023, has finally been released after being held captive for 10 long months. A registrar in the Department of Ophthalmology at the National Eye Center was abducted alongside her husband, Nuruddin Bukwola, who is a military officer, and her nephew, Folarami Abdul Mungni, who lives with them. The kidnappers had earlier demanded a whopping 40 million naira ransom, which was paid, after which they released her husband on March 8, 2024, and still refused to release Dr. Bukwola and her nephew. Dr. Bukwola and her nephew were, however, freed on Wednesday evening, bringing an end to their terrifying ordeal in the hands of their abductors. President of the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, Dr. Tokwe Oshundara, expressed immense joy and relief over a release, thanking everyone who contributed to their safe return. The coastal town of Debojo in Ibeju-Lekki area of Lagos State now has an additional block of classrooms to make teaching and learning more conducive. Our correspondent Olumide Ojo tells us more.
Children of coastal Debojo and the whole town are gradually striving to shrug off the rural town toga as Ibeju-Lekki as a whole becomes hugely industrialized, with multi-billion naira companies and infrastructure arriving at this coastal corridor of Lagos State. The political representatives of Ibeju-Lekki, led by member House of Reps Prince Bayo Balogun, chairman of the council Engineer Sheson Lowa, the Oni Debojo of Debojo Oba Ajibola Odugbeson, and others at the commissioning of blocks of classrooms, urge children and parents in the rural coastal axis of Ibeju-Lekki to wholeheartedly embrace education for a better tomorrow.
Is a fulfillment of promise. Few months ago, I was here with KBC when the community came to me that the children are not finding it easy under the broken roofs that we have in the schools, and the schools are not even adequate. And today, we are fulfilling that promise of the 6 classroom blocks. The population of Ibeju-Lekki is growing so fast, and we must continue to match up with infrastructure, both in buildings, roads, electricity, and everything.
It just goes to show the quality of representation that we have now. I mean, I don't think no day passes by without doing something right now in this local government. Whether it's from federal to state and the local governments. All are people in position of authority. There seems to be a very strong LD competition and positive competition. And that's the only way we can bring dividends of democracy to the people. Where every one of us, we are collaborating, we are working, brainstorming to solve problems.
lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí ìwọ tó bá káyọ̀ wá jókòó sílé o. The only option tó yẹ pé a ní choice láti embrace òun ni education.
Education is at the event stressed the need for more structures at Debojo Junior High School, even as the population of students in the coastal school keeps increasing.
In our own Ibeju-Lekki of today, we have first-class world projects that cost billions of dollars. And there is need for us to be able to exploit it. Then where is the key? The key to exploit all these benefits is education.
Some of the students appreciated the addition of the blocks of classrooms.
We thank Honorable Bayo Balogun for the classrooms, and we need more of it. We are forever grateful. We are very, very grateful. We need more of it. Students are using laboratory, chemistry laboratory for classes, which is not supposed to be done.
This one that we are going to share it 50-50 it doesn't balance us. Maybe you should just provide another one for us on that 6 classroom. The 6 should be given to junior and she should provide for the senior on that 6 classroom. And we don't have enough teachers, like we need a lot of teachers that will be teaching us because the student population are growing day to day.
The robust collaboration between all tiers of political representatives of Lagos State towards quality education education for children in Lagos State continues. Olumide Ojo, LTV News.
Experts in non-formal education in Nigeria are advocating for adequate support for the sector as it plays a vital role in addressing the needs of people who are disadvantaged to basic education. They were speaking at a one-day sensitization workshop for management staff for the Agency for Mass Education. Ikorodu Bureau Chief Adeshegun Igop reports.
To tackle some of the challenges of successful transition of non-formal learners into developmental growth, inclusive and accessible programs must be tailored. Hence, the essence of this workshop for management staff of the Lagos State's Agency for Mass Education. Director of the agency, Oluwakemi Kalesanwo, says the agenda of the state government on increasing the rate of literacy and empowering skills acquisition cannot be overemphasized.
Our achievements, we've looked at our challenges. How do we overcome this challenge to make sure that non-formal education in Lagos State achieve its goals, its aims, and objectives? We have a lot of people who are not learned in Lagos State. And so we need to get across to them.
They have started since their inception. They must have been doing a lot of work to improve the level of literacy in Lagos State. But however, they can't be the one to assess themselves. Now we have to assess the impact on the people who they said they are claiming to have disseminated information to.
Experts in the non-formal sector and facilitators enlighten participants on the need to exhibit quality and positive leadership skills for optimum service delivery.
The governor believes that if you reside in Lagos, things must work for you. Everything must work for you. But for things to work for you, you must be able to read and write.
They cannot use other approach, the pedagogical approach to teach them and to achieve the same goal, but they should try and emulate the andragogical technique of teaching adults. Once they are using the technological approach, they will have the rate of a dropout will drastically reduce.
The use of innovation and technology-driven terms in teaching of non-formal education is a key performance indicator for development.
To expect better performance, more improved skills, because we have motivated ourselves. Everybody here today, we perform optimally well.
This workshop has been of great success to all the participants because right now they have got to realize that they have much work to do.
We go back to our offices and then we meet our facilitators. We'll be able to impact or transmit all what we have learned here to them so that it will aid our retention rate in our literacy centers.
With the vision to provide access to mass education and redress the challenges of literacy and skill acquisition in Lagos State, the Agency for Mass Education is in tandem with the Teams Plus agenda of the Sanwo-Olu administration. Adeshegun Igop, LTV News.
And coming up, marketers dismiss fuel scarcity concerns, caution Nigerians against panic buying. That's in business news. Join us again.
On Business News tonight, the federal government says the proposed tax reform bill before the National Assembly is not targeted at the 19 northern states. The governors of the 19 northern states had rejected the bill, especially the proposed amendment to the distribution of value-added tax to a derivation-based model. In a statement, presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga says the new proposal, as enunciated in the bill, is designed to create a fairer system that will benefit all states. Onanuga, who is a special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, says that the ongoing tax reform seeks to correct the inequity in the current revision model as a basis for distributing VAT revenue. According to Onanuga, the new policy initiatives are aimed at streamlining Nigeria's tax administration processes, enhancing efficiency, and eliminating redundancies across the nation's tax operations. He explains that the reforms being proposed are critical to improving the lives of Nigerians and were not put forward by President Tinubu to undermine any part of the country. The Major Energies and Marketers Association of Nigeria has assured Nigerians of petrol availability and cautioned citizens against panic buying. In a statement, Memman boss Clement Isong says the association has a significant stock of products in its tanks and there were no issues with access to the stock. The statement adds that the association does not envisage any outages of petroleum products in the immediate future or in near term. It also urges the public not to panic buy petroleum products as its supply efficiency continues to improve and logistics optimization begins to set in. A taste of what to expect at the 2024 Food Festival. The festival is an annual event by the Lagos State Ministry of Agriculture and Food Systems to promote tourism and provide an avenue for agribusiness owners and consumers to meet under an entertaining ambience.
This year's theme, A Taste of Culture, will provide a platform to showcase the diverse food needs, the various ethnic groups and nationals in the state through the varieties of seafoods, meat, poultry, fresh farm products, organic groceries, dry foods, confectionery, pastries, drinks, and ready-to-eat consumables that will be exhibited by vendors at the venue of the food festival. For this year's edition, we will feature the activities of the Lagos Food Fest at 3 university campuses to sensitize our youth on this event, also for them to participate. So we'll be going to UNILAG, to LASU, and to LASU Tech.
The annual event, which also teaches and entertains participants in culinary experiences, will feature renowned chef Tolani Oshikoya, popularly known as Chef T, and other amazing chefs and musical artists.
This year promises to be even more exciting than we've had in the previous years. I'm fully involved in this year's festival. Like my body, soul, mind, everything is down in this festival. So trust me, myself and my besties and every other person watching this will definitely be on ground.
Lagos Food Festival, our own festival, is a blend of anything that you can think of that is good when it comes to cooking. From the top chef, to the ingredients, to the locals.
I want to assure all our guests that will be coming in that we have security, we have provided the rapid response squad of the state government. The Nigerian Police Force will be on ground. Safety officials from the Safety Commission will be on ground also. Also our fire service. All the apparatus of government will be on ground to ensure that we have a well-coordinated and well-implemented festival.
The 2024 Lagos Food Festival will hold on Sunday, December 8th at the Muri Okunla Park in Victoria Island, Lagos. Omomi Okeu, LTV News. And that's it on Business News Tonight. We'll now leave you with graphic details of trading on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange.
The African Fighting Championship is on a mission to take Abuja the beating art of mixed martial art in Africa. Co-founders Rhoda Swani and George Oladipupo Yunus took a major step towards the vision of AFC 001 held at the National Stadium Velodrome. The event, organized in collaboration with the Nigerian Mixed Martial Art Federation, electrified fans and fighters alike, setting a new standard for MMA in Nigeria.
002. You're going to have something that we will announce over the next 3 weeks that is actually going to be every 2 weeks in Abuja, specifically developed for amateurs. So there's a lot that we're building in the pipeline. Like I said, this is the stepping stone. This is now where we're now going to move forward with a lot more for anyone in this industry.
Abuja, being the capital city, being our city too, we wanted to bring attention to the city. We wanted to bring, people flying in, giving it a reason where you'll come to Abuja and experience mixed martial arts, as well as this capital city and its surroundings. There's a lot of universities here, a lot of students that may want to pursue mixed martial arts as a career. We want to give them that opportunity as well.
In partnership with MMAF, led by its president, Ambassador Henry George, the AFC 001 event showcased a powerful alliance aiming to elevate MMA in the region. George expressed excitement with the partnership, noting that the collaboration of NMAF and AFC will pave the way for local talent to compete on an international scale.
Today we are solidifying and also showing the kind of formalizing our partnership. So apart from this championship, they also promised to equip our national gym where we can have our athletes camp if we have national events. So it means a lot for us.
AFC 001 brought together over 20 fighters in 11 intense bouts, featuring talents from across Africa, including Nigeria's Jeb Philemon, Cameroon's Aide Octave, and Burkina Faso's Abdul Razak.
You want to follow your dad's work, you want to follow your father's work, your family's work. I stopped for a bit, but somehow, somewhere in life told me you have to come back. And it dragged me right back here. So from the guy I wanted to be a fighter, I'm now the head coach. So for the guys who couldn't live up to it, I'm here to make sure that they have the chance to live up to it. They have that chance. That's what the AFC is here for.
Distinguished attendees included Ambassador Mary Onyali, representing former Sports Minister Sunday Dare. The former sprinter and Olympian shared her enthusiasm for the event.
The former Minister Sunday Dare actually helped the MMA come alive, because when they started introducing the sports to the federations. So I'm happy it's growing in leaps and bounds.
AFC 001 was fulfillment of a vision to create a world-class platform for fighters, solidifying Abuja's status as Africa's MMA capital, bringing together talent, passion, and unity in the cage. Organizers of the Nathaniel Ogedegbe Flawless Soccer Tournament are set to stage the second edition in December at the Shonibare Stadium, Surulere. The competition, put together by former Nigeria Junior International Nathaniel Ogedegbe, offers soccer talent the opportunity to showcase their skills, learn from each other, and develop passion for sport. The 7-a-side youth tournament is divided into two categories. Under 10 boys will battle it out from December 7 to 8, while the under 12 competition is scheduled for December 17 to 18th. Having played for St. Finbar's College and Lagos Academical during its formative years, Ogedegbe explains the youth competition was a way of giving back to the community where he earned his football skills in Lagos, Nigeria. The event boasts professional referees and well-maintained playing facilities, ensuring a competitive and safe environment for all players. The top 3 teams in each category will also receive awards and trophies recognizing their hard work and dedication. Registration for the tournament is now open, with teams required to complete their roster verification on or before November 30, 2024. The inaugural youth football competition was held in January 2024, and the second edition promises to be even more exciting.
In foreign news, senior American officials have returned to the Middle East to try to reach a ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon, as the Lebanese Prime Minister Najib Mikati has expressed cautious optimism about a potential deal. President Biden's Middle East coordinator Brett McCurk and Amos Hochstein, who has led negotiations in the conflict with Hezbollah, are in Israel for talks with the country's authorities, although it was not clear whether any progress could be made ahead of the U.S. presidential election. Since the conflict escalated 5 weeks ago, Israel launched widespread airstrikes across Lebanon and a ground invasion of areas near the border. At least 2,200 people have been killed in the country, according to the Lebanese Health Ministry, and 1.2 million displaced, mostly Shia Muslims, heightening sectarian tensions and adding pressure on public services that were already struggling after years of a severe economic crisis. The Israeli government says its goal is to change the security situation along the border and guarantee the return of around 60,000 residents who have been displaced because of Hezbollah's rocket, missile and drone attacks. The objective is to pave the way for the full implementation of United Nations Resolution 1701, which ended the 34-day war between Israel and Hezbollah in 2006. Now let's take a look at tomorrow's weather forecast. And before we go, a news round-off. On the news tonight, we told you that the Nigerian Governors Forum have met in Abuja to deliberate on local government autonomy and a bill seeking to establish roles of traditional rulers in governance at the National Assembly. Wife of Lagos State Governor Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu has asked for continuous collaboration from international bodies and parents on sustainable zero-dose vaccination for children. Abducted medical doctor at the National Eye Center in Kaduna State, Ganiyat Popola, has finally been released after being held captive for 10 long months by bandits. And on the foreign scene, we told you that U.S. envoys are pushing for a ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon as Lebanese Prime Minister expresses cautious optimism about a potential deal. For more news, connect with Lagos Television on these social media platforms. On our parting shot tonight, not having the best situation, but seeing the best in your situation is the key to happiness. Please remember to call the toll-free lines 767 and 112 in case of emergencies. We'll be back with the news wrap at 10. I am Abimbola Bello. Thank you for watching. Do you know that as a viewer, you have the right to complain about any broadcast content or conduct of Lagos Television you are not pleased about? For any of such complaints, call or SMS Director Programs on 00333449115, Director News 003-696-2772, or Head Marketing 0022829898, or any of our social media handles. Lagos Television, the voice of Lagos.
Alright everyone. on, open your ears, make we talk. Time don't reach to rearrange the stars to give una small wisdom. Una think say una sabi. Shout my teeth fresh now, but una own, I beg no be so. Before una go talk, say our smile no reach. Make una think am twice so. We know they here to the point una with our small finger. We show una solution instead.
Ever heard of Colgate, the #1 oral care brand in the world?
On a slide, go find like film as it's supposed to be. You can see why we are the coolest around. For zero cavity and long-lasting fresh breath. Mom, it's your time to brush. Mama and Papa buy am, use them, and shine your smile. No more cover mouth. Because we Colgate, that do yaga with your smile.
Get ready, Lagos! The Lagos International Trade Fair 2024 is here, and it's your gateway to endless opportunities. From November 1st to 10th, 2024 at Tafawa Balewa Square, Lagos, experience Nigeria's largest gathering of industries and innovations all in one place. Explore the latest tech at our tech hub and meet exhibitors from all over the world. Shop for the finest textiles and